Well, the Baxter Community Center is getting ready for its 5th annual Community Kickback, a free, family-friendly event that brings neighbors together for fun, food, and connection.
Joining us this morning is Danielle Ginsler, the Development Director at the Baxter Community Center. Danielle, we appreciate your time this morning.
Of course.
For those of us that don't know what this Community Kickback is, talk about it. This is your 5th one.
Yes.
This is a big deal for you guys, kind of like a little milestone marker for your event.
It absolutely is. Yeah, we started back in 2021. We wanted to have a celebration, really, of summer, of the neighborhood. Coming out of COVID, we really wanted to bring some joy and excitement into the neighborhood. So we settled on our Community Kickback, which is free for families. We bring food trucks, we bring ice cream, face painting for the kiddos, live music. We have some other fun excitement happening this year, some new things that we're trying out. So it's really just a way for our neighborhood to come together. Anybody's invited, anybody all over Grand Rapids is invited to come and join us and learn more about Baxter Community Center, what we do, and just come together in a spirit of celebration, end of summer. It's this Thursday, so August 28th. So it's over at Joe Taylor Park. We're really excited.
Yeah, so I know some kiddos are back to school already, but it's late enough in the day to where you can still make it out and have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like a great time. How has turnout been the past couple of years, and how do you expect it to look this year?
Sure. So it's grown, through the years, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see some of the kiddos love the face painting, love the ice cream treats. So yeah, we tend to see it grow throughout the evening as well. So it starts about 4:30 when kiddos are getting out of school, but sometimes people aren't out of work yet, obviously, so it starts to grow throughout the evening, goes on till 9:30. And so we see hundreds of people every year. It depends on the weather. We're really keeping our fingers crossed for no rain. That kind of scares people away, but we do have tents, and a lot of times there's a quick downpour, and then we get back out in the sunshine. So, it's a great time.
Well, I mean, you got the fire trucks out there, some kids looking at those big rig trucks out there. So cool. This is the 5th year, and obviously I would imagine you guys had small beginnings. How has it grown over the years?
Yeah, so the first year it was really about getting the word out, letting people know what it was, what to expect. And so I think through word of mouth, it's really grown through the years. So people bring their friends, they bring their family. And so we've really seen a lot more folks come out, which is really exciting. And the great thing is when people come out, we ask, if they're comfortable giving their contact info, and then we let them know about things happening at Baxter in the future. So we have a lot of fun things happening at the community center, and so we want people to know it's not just the kickback, right? There's a lot more happening at Baxter Community Center.
You guys really do have a lot of events. I was on your website earlier this morning, and I was just like, wow, there are a lot of services and things you guys do.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm sure really exciting for people to be able to come out on Thursday and learn all about those. For the kickback, too, now, in previous years, has it also been held at Joe Taylor Park?
Yes, we've always had it at Joe Taylor Park. So Baxter Community Center is right next door to Joe Taylor Park.
Okay.
So that's our neighborhood park. There's a splash pad, there's a playground. It's a great space for community to come together, and it's been really fun. We have a summer program actually that meets there throughout the summer. So again, this is sort of the culmination. Our summer program just ended, obviously with kiddos getting back to school. So this is a great way for parents, caregivers to come together and see the park, have a great chance to cool down in the splash pad if it's a hot day, and enjoy some live music.
Yeah, so we talked about all the other events you guys have going on. I'm more curious about the services you guys provide. For anyone not familiar with you guys at home, can you talk about the things that you guys do provide on a regular basis?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, we do have a summer program, but we also have an after-school program that's starting up actually just next week, I think, after Labor Day, which is already coming up. I can't believe that. And so it's a free after-school program for kiddos in the neighborhood or anybody who does not have after-school for their kiddo. So it goes from after school until about 7 o'clock. Kids get they get dinner and a snack every day. There's homework time, but we do other fun stuff like basketball. We partner with other organizations and do arts and crafts. There's literacy activities. We partner with the library a lot of years. So that's a really cool program. We also have affordable childcare. So affordable, accessible childcare. Childcare is very expensive, and so we try to keep it affordable for our neighbors. We also have a marketplace. So our food and clothing pantry, it's free for neighbors to visit. If they are on a tight budget, they're not able to really complete their grocery run this month, they're able to stop by and pick up some emergency groceries or, some back to school clothes for the kiddos, some jackets. We're already starting to get into the cooler weather, as you were mentioning. And so, jackets, hats, scarves, that kind of thing in the winter months as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Baxter Community Center obviously offers all of these great programs, all of these different events too. Is there any other event coming up that you would want to highlight as well?
Yes. So we are gearing up for our holiday baskets. So in November and December every year, we give away holiday baskets to our neighbors to make sure that all of our neighbors can have a nice holiday meal with their family. So neighbors that might be on a tight budget this year due to job loss or other situations, they're able to sign up and request either a basket around Thanksgiving or around Christmas time. So that's a really great way for either our neighbors who want to come together and volunteer, neighbors that might want to do a food drive at their scout troop or their church, they're able to do that and help out our neighbors that might be experiencing a little bit of financial struggle this year.
Yeah, there are a lot of great programs that you guys run through the Baxter Community Center. Can you talk about just like the need in the community? Like how great is the need, especially coming out of the summer season into the school year? This is a really expensive time for many families.
It is. Yeah, I mean, you see it with back to school shopping, right? I mean, it's expensive, those lists of what the kiddos need to get back to school. And so we really just kind of consider ourselves part of that village to support our neighbors, right? So we know that, a lot of families in our neighborhood have working parents. Sometimes they're single parents who are trying to provide for their kiddos. So we just want to make sure that we are a resource that our neighbors can turn to if times are a little tight. Like I said, if there's a month where, gosh, the grocery budget is just not stretching as far with inflation and, the prices that we're seeing at the grocery store. And so we try to be that resource. We do gardening classes actually in the spring and summer to help our neighbors, maybe grow your own food in your backyard or even in a pot on your front porch. And then the other thing that's really exciting in this fall, we're doing canning classes. So,
cool.
Maybe your tomatoes are just taking over your garden. You have hundreds of tomatoes. What do you do with those, and how do you preserve them through the winter months so you can continue to eat them? So we do classes on how do you make salsas or pasta sauce.
I was gonna say pasta sauce.
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
Yes. So you have those in your cupboard throughout the winter months. So that's a really great program too that helps our neighbors. Some of those skills that I think maybe our grandparents or great grandparents had that kind of got lost through the years. How do we bring those back, right?
Yeah. No, I love that you guys are always looking ahead to the next thing to figure out, okay, how can we best serve our community? Love to hear all about it. And of course, the kickback really starts with that. I want to hear more about things that people can expect when they head out there. How about entertainment?
Yes, so we are really excited. We're having live entertainment this year, so that's always really fun. We do have lawn games, so you might see some of the pictures.
I saw cornhole in there.
Cornhole, giant Jenga, Connect 4. Those are always really a big hit with the kiddos. And so it's really just a way for people to come together. When everybody comes and signs up, they get a wristband, they get a meal from a food truck, they get an ice cream treat. Like I said, we've got face painting for the kiddos this year, so that's always really popular. And then we're doing some new things this year. So, we have some surprises that we want people to come out and check out. And so it's just a really fun day to connect with neighbors, to meet new people, and just kind of build that spirit of fellowship with one another.
Yeah, what do you hear from the neighbors that come out to the event? Obviously, they've got to appreciate the time and effort you guys put into this event, but also what do you hope that they're taking away from this?
So yeah, we're hoping that some of those relationships are able to be built. So you might meet your neighbor who is maybe a senior citizen and on their own, and so then that winter you think like, oh, maybe I should shovel their driveway. Those kinds of things, or the neighbor who's got kiddos and you're like, hey, I could watch them. If you're in a jam ever. Those are the kinds of relationships that we're hoping our neighbors can build. That sort of social fabric that keeps us all afloat because it's really hard to raise a family, or just we feel like there's a lot of isolation, and so we really want to bring folks together and say, how can we be there for each other? And I think this is a great space to do that over a meal and over maybe an ice cream cone.
Well, I'm just thinking, the saying of it takes a village, right?
Yeah.
It really does to not only raise the kids, but also look out for one another, get them off to school, just a really good effort that you guys are putting on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if somebody's thinking, they're listening to this at home at least, and they're thinking, wow, this is so cool, I want to figure out how to get to be involved. How could they go about doing that?
So we encourage folks to come to our website. So we are www.wearebaxter.org. Follow our Facebook. We've got an Instagram. We do a lot of updates on events that are coming up, classes folks can sign up for. We have a diabetes prevention and management workshop that we do that's 16 weeks long to help folks with that. So really, if you go to our website, you can kind of see all of the things we have to offer, from our after-school program to some of our programs and classes that are more geared toward adults.
Okay, let's put that graphic up one more time on the screen. Actually, it's right there on their website. Oh yeah, there it is. Thursday, 4 to 9. Again, a little bit later in the afternoon, so kids have time to get home from the bus stop. Not only that, if you are working, you can kind of trickle in through the night. I saw some food trucks involved there.
Yes, we always have, I think we've got like 2 to 3 food trucks coming, as well as, like I said, we've definitely got an ice cream truck coming this year. Face painting, yeah, it's a great way for us to celebrate. And like you said, some kiddos are already in school, but going into the long holiday weekend, it's going to be a really fun event.
Absolutely. Again, that's at Joe Taylor Park this Thursday. Danielle with the Baxter Community Center, we appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll have you back soon. You guys have a lot going on.
Yes, please.
All right, it's 8:54. We're back after this.